Welcome. We are live in Sarasota, Florida. We had a rough start. Our encoder reset right before we were going to go into broadcast. So we are already a few points into this game. Blackbird up 2-1. Here we see Blackbird in possession of the disc on defense. Blackbird from San Francisco taking on inter-city rivals, Polar Bears from San Francisco. That disc pops up, and a great grab right in front of Marliov. The goal goes to Tommy Hendrickson as the disc pops in the air, and he is able to get the second effort goal.
That's the first break of the game. Previous points, all downwind offense. There, the first turn, throw a little wide, the Polar Bear cutter. And Blackbird able to find Tommy Hendrickson in the end zone. Actually, his cut was in the end zone. It was just short of the end zone, and then the throw went up. It was macked up into the air. And then he's able to come down with it and get the first break for Blackbird. So they take the lead, 3, Polar Bears 1.
Andrew Hagan set to pull for Blackbird.
Hagan sporting the pants, shorts over the pants.
Yeah, he has been dealing with a hamstring injury, just trying to keep those legs warm and loose. We've been seeing him wearing pants all weekend, even in this hot Florida weather. Anji Sao with the disc, goes to the sideline. Dahlman up to Naruo. A Raider with a backhand, upwind, just out of the reach of Daniel Naruo.
Naruo, fast player, athletic player. They're going to be looking a lot to him to run much of their offense through. Got a foul called on the mark. Blackbird looking for their second break in a row. Blackbird, of course, won nationals last year.
And the Polar Bears won it the year before that, both teams winning it in their first year as a program.
This is a matchup of last year's finals. Blackbird coming out on top, 16-15. There's Hagan with the deep ball. Disc is hanging just off the fingertips. Raiders swings to Kearns. Kearns throw a little low.
Blackbird with a short field to get their second break in a row.
There's the lefty, Dan Hodges, marked by Naruo. And Tommy Hendrickson scores his second consecutive goal. Blackbird taking the lead on Polar Bears. 4-1. Blackbird won nationals last year, looking to win for the second consecutive year. Both these teams out of the Southwest region, 5 bids allocated to that region. Blackbird 4th at regionals, getting the 11 seed coming in. Polar Bears, of course, the 1 seed. However, this Blackbird team, although they're seated low, they know what it takes to win a national championship.
Corey Lee set to pull for Blackbird, pulling upwind. And we see a zone look from Blackbird.
It's Maddie Sung to Miller, back to Sung. Centers to Miller. Sung with it now. Sung, big fake, trying to move that defense around, find some lanes. Now Miller. Clay Miller playing his college days at Cal Berkeley. Throw goes up. Dan Hodges is there. Dan Hodges goes up and D's it. Blackbird trying to ride their momentum, looking for a 5-1 lead on Polar Bears. And Hodges not wasting any time. Boosts it right away. Enormous bid. Number 26, that's Corin Lee. Then it pops up, looking for Lee and the end zone, and Lee making his second spectacular grab this point. All four observers with their hands in the air, signaling goal. Blackbird hugging it out. They're feeling it right now.
A quick correction, that is Daniel Gillick making the two plays. A big layout on the upwind throw. Dan Hodges just from the end zone line, not wasting any time trying to get it upfield.
Wow, that is a very spectacular play there from Dan Gillick. And his second play going up, getting it over Kevin Cox. And Polar Bears taking a timeout, trying to slow down Blackbird. We will also be taking a break, bring you more first half action here in Sarasota.
Welcome back to Sarasota, Florida. Next Gen Network's cover of mixed finals here at the 2012 USA Ultimate Championships. This stream brought to you by the Encoded by Elemental Technologies. Elemental Technologies has been sponsoring and working with Next Gen for the past year.
Tommy Hendrickson to pull for Blackbird.
Blackbird opening up a big lead to start this game. They're up 5-1. They get the upwind break, second of the game.
The wind isn't as strong today, but those upwind breaks are still very important.
That's Hubbard to Kircher. Back to Hubbard, marked by Hodges. Hubbard with the around break to Sue. Back to Hubbard. And Hubbard ripping it right away.
Two Blackbird defenders, and a great play
by Elijah Kearns. He burns a timeout right outside the goal line.
Eli Kearns goes up high to bring it in for
Ben Hubbard putting a good backhand upwind.
Calls timeout.
And Eli Kearns keeping the defenders on his back. Great defensive play, and they really want to punch in this offensive point upwind.
Eli Kearns, former Junior Worlds player, going up with two hands, making the grab. Had a beat on that one. You know, the difference between these two teams, Blackbird doesn't practice a whole lot throughout the season. They're a much more tournament-based team, working together at tournaments. And the contrasting Polar Bears, they practice together a lot. Been a top team all year in this mixed division. You can see them frequently in finals. Blackbird relying on their talent, their experience, their knowledge of how to win games. Polar Bears trying to grind this one out. Now Kearns with the disc.
For Polar Bears after that timeout. Corey Lee on the mark for Blackbird.
That's Corey Lee on the mark. Sets up with a backhand mark. Swung to Hubbard, marked by Hodges. Nice poach in the lane. There's Daniel Naruo with the second goal of this game. Stops Blackbird's momentum.
Yeah, and they took a timeout before that point even started. A very important offensive point for them as they were working the disc upwind. Now they get a chance to get their defense on the field. And Blackbird is working upwind, so an easier break opportunity for Polar Bears. It's still early in this game. We've seen some great comebacks here this weekend. I would not count Polar Bears out yet.
That play, Naruo cutting at the front of the stack. They're isolating him, and Charles Denby marking him. All these players out of San Francisco, they frequently play against each other.
Offensive line for Blackbird going upwind. June Cithanel, Adam Hagen, Nick Sloven, Brian Garcia, Eli Janin, Karen Brimacombe, and rounding out the line, Sally Mims. Sally Mims already with 2 goals in this game. Garcia and Janin leading the handler core. Upfield to Hagen.
That handler core of Garcia and Janin. Many throws in the top club tournaments, top open teams. Garcia played open with Revolver. Janin with Rhino.
Now Hagen in the center of the field. Goes back to Janin. A pick is called.
Clay Miller with the pick call. Miller and Janin played against each other in college. Janin out of Oregon. That's Clay Miller from Cal Berkeley.
Hagen lefty backhand. Upfield to Garcia. Garcia, good break throw. Finds Sloven. And a pick called. Sloven is going to keep possession of the disc just outside the goal line.
Advantageous position here for Blackbird. Sloven without a mark.
Kevin Cox on the mark.
There's Hagen streaking. Wow. Definitely some contact. We're getting a foul called.
We do have a foul on the play.
Hagen calling the foul. Kevin Cox kind of stepping off the mark to prevent the short throw. And as he jumps out, Andrew Hagen just comes right into his legs. These teams used to playing each other a lot. Same section, same region, and I'm sure they go to a lot of the same tournaments.
I don't think Cox saw Hagen cutting up line. He's created a lot of contact. You can see surprised at Hagen's presence. Sloven puts it up to Janin. Blackbird turnover. Now Miller picks up, marked by Janin.
Is that the first Blackbird turnover we've had this game?
I believe it is.
So Polar Bears with a chance to get one of those downwind breaks back. and just out of the hands of Greg Marliov.
Garcia is fortunate there as he kind of gave up on defense, sitting deep. Stopped, realized his man was too deep.
Eli Cannon to pick up the disc for Blackbird after that Polar Bears turn.
Yeah, the wind pushing the disc a little bit faster than it might normally come out. As we've said, wind not as strong as some of the games we've watched earlier this weekend, but still having this upwind, downwind game. Blackbird currently working the upwind side, upwind field.
Quick movement from Blackbird's offense. Garcia, the captain of this team, finding Sloven in the middle of the field. Sloven up to Mims. Mims to Garcia. Garcia looking for that inside break to Hagen. There is a call on the field.
Counts in on 0. Boo with the disc for Blackbird.
Now live. Garcia to Janin, marked by Miller.
Call.
Janin calls the foul.
Contest, disc in on 0. Janin with the disc. Miller on the mark.
Uncontested foul coming in at 0. Garcia going inside, gets the receiver.
That's Mims. Mims burns a timeout. Players take a break. We will also be taking a break. Join us for the conclusion of the first half of the 2012 Mixed National Championships. Welcome back to Sarasota, Florida. Polar Bears right on the goal line. Excuse me, that's Blackbird right on the goal line looking to punch this one in.
Sally Mims with the disc, and immediately
she breaks around to Brian Garcia. Garcia right at the front of the stack. Blackbird taking the lead, 6-2 on Polar Bears.
Garcia just going to the dead side, running away from his defender, and it's relying totally on the thrower to put that one to him. No problem for Mims to get around the mark.
As the mark there coming out of the timeout, you can't allow a throw like that, especially in the red zone. Even a 2-yard gainer on the around break is gonna result in a goal. You have Garcia right at the front. They're clearly isolating him. You have to take a step around. Mims easily pivots. Her throw was barely pressured. Polar Bears needing to tighten it up on their marks.
Polar Bear with an opportunity at that point to get the break. They had a drop in the end zone.
Tommy Hendrickson to pull for Blackbird.
Very costly drop because now the Polar Bears offense having to work upwind. And as the day moves on, we start to feel the wind get a little bit stronger here on the fields.
O-line for Polar Bears, Kircher, Shanker, Sue, Kirkland, Dahlman, Adam Rady, number 12, Eli Kearns. Kearns and Rady doing a lot of handling. Earlier in the game, mistakenly called Rady Hubbard. is Rady with the disc. Now Kircher with it. Kircher to Sue, to Dahlman, to Shankar. Now Dahlman ripping the backhand, putting it out to space. The wind kills that one, however. Blackbird now with an opportunity to go up another break, push their lead to 5. That throw from Dahlman started with an outside-in edge, and it seems like right as Dahlman threw that, the wind picked up. It's definitely blowing a couple miles an hour faster, which could change the angle that you need to throw. Put a bit more spin on it. Now Hodges with it, marked by Dahlman. That's Gillick to Hodges, to Hendrickson.
Foul called on the throw. It's going to go back to the...
No contest.
That's Susan Bachelder with the foul call. No contest from Sue. Just goes deep, and Rady with the D.
Fantastic D by Rady, stopping the huck before it's able to get all the way downfield. Now Polar Bears about halfway until they can get it in the end zone.
Rady to Hubbard. Hubbard ripping the back end, looking for Dahlman. Hendrickson's there, so is Hodges, and Dan Hodges going up, making a play on the disc. I don't believe Dahlman saw Hodges there.
Dan Hodges goes up.
Might have felt his presence, but didn't see that he was there. He knew that Hendrickson was there. Looks like Hodges just reads it better and explodes to the disc, creating a D. Now Hendrickson with it. Dan Hodges, pump fake.
Missed throw, but good presence on the field from Blackbird.
Chang with it. Bachelder. Hendrickson. Hendrickson putting the inside out. And a huge grab from Nat Kinsey going up over Eli Kearns. Kearns making a big grab earlier in this game.
Blackbird with yet another break, taking this game 7-2.
We did see it in the Masters final yesterday. Teams are able to come back. Of course, Surly came back on Boneyard after being down 9-5. Then they go on a 6-0 run. Take the lead 11-9. They can push forward and get victory. Polar Bears need to tighten it up on defense.
The wind really starting to gust.
Yeah, unfortunate.
This game is going.
Unfortunate for Polar Bears during that play. Dahlman with the backhand. Seems like the wind picked up as he threw it. As I said before, as the wind picks up, you need to put more inside out on it, more spin on it. And the players, looks like Blackbird is burning its final timeout. So as the players take a timeout, we will too. Join us for the conclusion of the first half.
Corey Lee to pull for
Welcome
Blackbird
back to
after that
Sarasota, Florida, the 2012 mixed finals here at the club championships from USA Ultimate. Blackbird currently up 7-2 on inner city rivals Polar Bears.
That's Lee with the pull. Kearns with it. Kearns to Naruo. Naruo strong pivots.
Upfield to Rotor.
We do have a travel called that will come back. It was on the previous play. Naruo. It's this throw up line to Scott Rader.
Yeah, unfortunate for Polar Bears. Even if the observers overrule the travel, it's still going to stay at Scott Rader. They won't get the continuation to the goal.
The observer rules that robot did not travel. The disc advances to it.
So the observer rules no travel. Rader going to have it on the sideline.
Center now with Kearns, and Kearns putting it up to Dahlman. Hendrickson's there. Dahlman going up large, bounces off his hands. He's not happy with himself.
Yeah, Dahlman having to go up early with Tommy Hendrickson there to contest it.
Dahlman gets up on that point, just can't grab it. Now Lee with it, marked by Naruo. Lee not wasting any time, putting it deep to Hendrickson. Hendrickson unable to close the gap or track that one down. Polar Bears get possession again. There's Naruo. It's Dahlman with the backhand outside in huck. It rides the wind. Going in that direction, much easier backhand from Dahlman. He throws it downwind. He was trying to throw that one previously. Upwind, unable to convert. Here, finds Naruo.
And Dahlman does a good job there, not trying to throw it the furthest he could. He put some touch on it so Naruo can make a play on it instead of throwing it out the back of the end zone, which we've seen a lot with these strong winds.
Now Kearns with it. Looking for Rader. Rader big pivots, lots of pump fakes. Looking for Naruo. Naruo cutting up line to the live side, changed his direction as Rader decided to throw.
Corey Lee picking up the disc for Blackbird on a good side of the field for this win. Likes to take the first pass in the center.
It's Kinski to Shiva. Big possession-saving grab from Lee. Lee puts it up to Hendrickson. Hendrickson around. Oh my. That's Kinski maintaining possession. Jumped a little early, but able to go up after Naruo tries to D it. Now Hendrickson putting it deep to Lee. Lee's there. Brings it down. Lee surveying the field. Lee to Hendrickson. Hendrickson inside. It rides the wind. Rader there.
Rotor gets a finger up for the Polar Bears D.
Dahlman with it in the middle. Polar Bears looking to get their third goal of the game. Now Naruo on the sidelines, marked by Kinski. Kinski centers to Kearns. Gains a few yards there. Dump. Back over to Rotor. To Kearns. On the sideline to Dahlman. There's a wide open Polar Bears cutter. Polar Bears elect to not throw it. Narua with it on the sidelines. Nearly at the brick. Now right at the brick, Kearns. Back to Lee, to Kearns. To number 71.
Pollock Shaw with the goal. Polar Bears, great offense after they get the disc with 70 yards to go. It would have been a break into half for Blackbird, but good, smooth movement from the Polar Bears after they get possession.
It was smooth after they got the disc, but throughout the point, the wind's picking up. These throws are getting a lot harder. Multiple turns from each team.
Polar Bears on a very important defensive point. Their defensive line, Alexa Kirkland, co-captain Greg Marliov, Lisa Pitcatley, Clay Miller, Simon Higgins, Kevin Cox, and Palak Shah on the line again. Upwind pull, hits about at the brick and rolls.
Garcia picks up, centers to Janin, back to Garcia. Slovin streaking across. Garcia looking at Janin. Garcia to Slovin, and a drop from Slovin. However, he's calling foul. There will be some discussion. I don't know about that one. Slovin clearly dropped it before.
I believe he's calling a foul on the second effort, but still
looked like there could have been some contact, but I don't know. Why not just catch it the first time?
Higgins asked the observer to make the call.
This would be a big turn opportunity for Polar Bears. A turn with about at the brick mark, so they'd be almost in the red zone. And going upwind, this could be a 2-point swing.
Foul is called. Observers make a ruling.
Observers rule contested. Foul. They don't make a definite ruling, so it's just going to go back to Garcia. That's got to be a big blow for Polar Bears right there.
Yeah, opportunity to break with a short field upwind. Now Garcia putting it deep to Hagen. Hagen's there, reaches out. Right outside the goal line. Hagen looking for Janin up the line. Janin right there. Janin with the goal, and Blackbird.
Travel called
travel
on the
call. Janin celebrating immediately. He's almost on the other sideline.
We have a cup.
I am 1 over 500.
Observer uphold call.
Observer upholds the travel call. So Hagen still in possession of the disc just outside the goal line. If Blackbird scores, they take this game into halftime.
Coming in on 4.
Hagen, high count, this time finds Janin. No calls. Blackbird gets the goal and goes into half 8-3.
That's a huge lead for Blackbird. Up 5 goals, only 7 points to go. If Polar Bears want to win this game, they're going to have to score 12 times in the second half. As long as this game isn't capped. Lots and lots of work ahead for Polar Bears.
Yeah, and I think a huge turning point in that point is on the contested call back on the turn. It would have been a short field for Polar Bears. They would have had the opportunity to get the break, and when Brian Garcia gets it back, the first thing that he does is throws it deep. He knows that Hagen's there, but one way or another, he doesn't want to give up another short field turn. It works out for them in the reception, but that is something where I feel like the observers need to make a definitive call. It works out for Blackbird, though, as they're able to take this into halftime. Again, we'd like to thank Elemental Technologies for encoding this game here at the 2012 USA Club Championships. We are covering mixed finals. Be sure to switch to the second stream. You'll need to go to a second stream on your YouTube browser. Come back here for the exciting second half on the Next Gen Network.